If you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with me. As a beginner JToH player, experiencing this game for the first time has been both challenging and rewarding. Despite all of my failures and struggles, I've genuinely had a great time with it. Even if I might not be saying the same once I reach the harder towers. We'll just have to see how that turns out for me.
A great time, huh? Oh, how the times have changed. If only old me knew. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm Ben, and welcome back to EToH. The fourth time I've subjected myself to this game for a video. By now you probably know what this game is all about. But in case you're new here, EToH is a game where you fall and fall and fall and then you fall again. Is there ever a point where you don't fall? No. No, there isn't. Which is exactly why I'm back for part 4, to suffer once more, of course. Alright, no more stalling, let's jump right in. Alright, the intro. Starting things off, we're tackling the Steeple of Meaningless Decisions, just to, you know, warm up and sharpen my skills for the tougher stuff ahead. It's a really simple steeple, one that takes minimal effort to clear. You've got the basics here, simple wall hops, button puzzles, a bit of platform pushing, you get the idea. There are safety nets everywhere, so honestly there's not much pressure. I did try the challenge mode and let's just say it didn't exactly go my way. It's clearly designed for a much higher difficulty, way beyond an easy steeple. So yeah, I ended up replaying it just for the badge. Not a big deal, it's a 5-minute run, so why not? Anyway, that's about it for this one. Super easy, let's keep moving. Steeple of Pursuit introduces a more unique gimmick. It is a medium difficulty tower, but with rising lava that becomes a real challenge if you let the pressure get to you. It may seem impossible at first, but all you really need is steady nerves, solid platforming skills, and most importantly, no panicking. Eventually you will reach a point where the lava stops rising. From there, the rush to the end pressure disappears. All that is left is to explore the area, find 5 buttons that activate platforms, and once all 5 are active, make your way to the wind pad, and that is it. Tower of Funny Thoughts was really easy, which is no surprise since it is the first tower in Ring 3. Anyway, you all know the drill for this one. Basic platforming, some precision, rotating platforms, pushing platforms, wall hopping, and everything you would expect from a tower like this. There are not any unique gimmicks here except for the bouncy pads that appear quite often. Tower of Inverted Colors is, well, a tower with inverted colors. I have to admit, I was getting Tower of Killjoys flashbacks the moment I saw the purple and pink colors, and the tightrope mechanic return. As someone who has beaten Killjoys and a difficult steeple, this was really not a tough tower. There are no puzzles, no unique gimmicks. From my perspective, it is essentially Killjoys but far easier. So let us move on. Tower of Big Hole is a hard difficulty tower in Ring 2. As always, I don't think I need to repeat myself on the whole push buttons, tight ropes, rotating platforms, kill bricks, yada yada yada. It's not boring exactly, but it does reuse a lot of elements we've seen in previous towers. The end, however, gets pretty nerve-wracking since you can fall down the hole when jumping onto really tiny bricks. There is an outside section where you have to be very careful not to fall. If you do, all your progress is lost. But once you get past that scary part, it's really only uphill from there. Tower of Good Jolly Fun is a long but very easy tower. I did fall a couple of times, but overall it was very easy to finish. Not much to say here, just another easy tower. Not too difficult, but not too bad either. Next up is Steeple of Feudal Foliage. Surprisingly, this steeple has its own unique way of being completed. Instead of the typical just go through 5 floors format, you actually need to visit 5 different areas to activate buttons that are the key to winning. The first area had me climbing a medieval themed building while doing some basic parkour to reach the button. The second was a cavern-themed section, which reminded me a bit of the steeples I tackled in the last episode. Once you reach the end, you can move on to the next puzzle. Keep in mind, all these puzzles can be approached in whatever way suits your style. Then there are the temple ruins, which feature some tricky parkour, but with good timing and precision, it becomes a cakewalk. Next is the village, where the parkour feels similar to what you do in the temple ruins. Once you've completed all of them, you move on to the final segment, floating obstacles. Since it's short, and you can retry it easily, you're pretty safe for most of the run. Alright, before we tackle the final tower, let's take on Steeple of Low Woe. This one is a medium difficulty steeple, but nowhere near as challenging as Steeple of Pursuit with its rising lava mechanic. Here, there are no unique gimmicks or anything particularly worth noting. With that, let's head in. Oh boy, Tower of Stress. Let me tell you, this was something else. Normally my tower attempts take 30 to maybe an hour at most, but this one, I had 3 failed attempts with one lasting 2 hours. Yeah, my patience was running low. I kept falling again and again and again. It was miserable. If you want to know what made this pure torment, I'll show you. Around this dark blue and purple area, there are really tiny bricks you can fall off if you don't have nerve control and precision. I failed here a lot, and it wasn't just, oh, redo the platforms, because if you slip off, you go all the way back to the beginning. Maybe if you're lucky you land on a platform, but even then, those tiny blocks make it painful. This level screams nerve control. You get too nervous or make one tiny mistake, boom, back to the start. That aside, once you get to floor 9, this is the pre-final part of the tower where you have to make a really long jump to a truss that leads all the way back to floor 1. By then, your nerves are through the roof. If you don't get on the truss in time, you lose. So, what happened here? . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . . . . . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 .
。 . 。 .
I fell on one of the final parts of the tower. After all my failed attempts and hours spent on this tower, I failed. Well, here I am again, back after almost making it through a peak difficult tower that was formerly considered bottom tier challenging. By now you probably know the drill. EToH is a game about falling. For us EToH players, it's drilled into our heads that never falling and always succeeding would actually be unusual. Everyone says it. You fall, you learn from your failures. It might sound generic, but it's true. The best players weren't forged from success. They were made through trial and error. Obviously, jumping into something beyond my reach like I did with Tower of Stress wasn't the smartest move. Even if I didn't fully complete it, I still got through 8 towers with a few steeples mixed in. That's something in the end. I'm not sure when part 5 will come, but it probably won't be soon. However, when the time does come, I will return and hopefully be able to take on the tougher difficulties. In any case, I'm tired of talking about brain rot, Roblox trends, and suffering through EToH. I think I'll take a step back and figure out what to do next. I'm not sure what that will be, but whatever it is, I just hope it's not something tormenting. However, with that said, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next one.